basic, so it was it ended up being even better for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it was good.
It's so cool when you say I've been a professional. Like it's so cool. Like you was that little goofy kid from naming that
Nah,
just
for real.
but now like the fact that you got that you everything that you want out of basketball, well, I mean, at least from the outside looking in, maybe because
Yeah,
everybody else got their own expectation, but the fact that you got, you went to Texas, got the overseas, got some. Did you get a championship? Or am I tripping?
yeah, I got a championship. I got like a championship when I was in the G League. Not a G League championship, but it was like the showcase championship. And then I went to the finals and played in the finals and everything like that in the G League, and then won in Africa championship. And let me think of what else. Yeah, that's pretty the only time I won a championship, but I always was in the playoffs.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, hey,
Yeah,
like if you have Demarcus on the team, you always like he about to be winning. Like nothing less than a championship is the
nah,
expectation.
nah, for real. Yeah, so nah, I had some success, found some success.
You look at you, just humble. And that's why you look. That's why you are you and I'm me. Because if I was you, maybe that's why God told me, hey, this is you just supposed to be exactly where you at. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
nah, for real, man.
No, but you have to though, because at the end of the day, this is what I tell people, right? Especially like young kids. No matter what the situation is, like as far as like life opportunity, always be a good person first. At the end of the day, always
Yeah,
be a good person first because that will open up things that you know the accolades like that you qualify may be shut based on your character. You know what I'm saying? And so like even for me, I've been fortunately blessed to be around like everywhere I've had every job opportunity was because they were invested in me first before knowing I'm even qualified for a job. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I'm passionate about you know guys like you and the other ones that I mentor. Of like, hey, at the end of the day, be a good person first. Be a servant of God, and then
yeah,
all the other stuff will fall into place. You know what I'm saying?
no,
So
100%. You see it all the time though. Like you see, I've heard many players say like, "Oh, this guy, how did he get this job?" Or why he get that role over me? And it's just all based off of like not only just who they know, but it's like who knows their character. Like, and that sounds so it sounds cliche, but if I'm doing business, and I'm the one who's cutting the check, like I want to do business with somebody that I can trust and that I can rely on. I can't rely on you if you're a hothead or you emotional or you might wake up in a different mood and you're not gonna be ready.
right,
So
you can't be a liability on our brand. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's important. You know.
yeah.
I saw that you watched my video this morning that I posted. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, I'm like, bro, you was 5'9" and then shot up to 6'2" is crazy.
Hey, no, because like I remember, and the reason I love my dad because like we all as men we all play by percentages, right? And and I grew up. He's realistic.
Yeah,
Um, because I mean my older brother he's like 6'5", so like I have a big family. So then it got to a space where we all accepted that I'm cool at good at basketball, but I'm a little fella. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And so realistically, as a dad, not necessarily, and we had a conversation about this. Is like now that I'm older, it's not. I don't feel like he shot a dream, and especially since I'm a dad as well. Like it's like, look, based on what reality, not by feelings. This is where you're at. This is what the expectation, and without your control, let's look at being a student, get your, being a man, business, all that kind of stuff, which I'm grateful for. You know what I'm saying? But then that height stuff snuck up on me, and end up being having those opportunities that I expressed in those clips, but then like that in between, because I'm coaching y'all too. You know what I'm saying? Because it got to a space where um I was in the office, and then because at first they straight up told me said if we're gonna take a chance on you, you have to stop coaching because it's a full time job. I ain't been
right.
in a rhythm, so I'm like I could do it all. And
Yeah,
obviously I couldn't, and I had to make a decision, especially when y'all were up, like actually y'all were killing out there. It wasn't worth for me. It wasn't worth drop everything for my personal endeavors. And I had my little brother on there too. He played my Malcolm. It's like I'm not
yeah,
dropping y'all just for something that just popped up, and
yeah,
especially my trajectory of where I want to go at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, beyond playing and coaching, I want to be a coach. I just know that was just my thing. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But of course, like during those times, you do have that window of wonder. But like, dang, what if I did go to the league and accepted those cards from the agents, and my boys was
right,
actually trying to put me on overseas too that are very successful. And but again, I look at my life. I'm like, well, I may not have met my wife because I'm on the
yeah,
road. I
right,
definitely will have my children. I may have other children that may or may not be. You know what I'm saying? Just that whole life. So I'm like, at the end of the day, one, my contentment or really thankfulness comes from I'm living based on that young decision like today. And then two, the life that I live with is the one that I actually desire. You know what I'm saying? Of just a humble living, got a wonderful family, still, you know, coaching and trying to pour into the next. But I was inspired because there's a lot of other kids who are still like in a uniform that I
yeah,
like legit you there, and I'll talk to you about a couple of them too, and I'm like, don't be me, and not necessarily know me like as in like I regret it because at the end of the day this is what I wanted, but it's more of
right,
like why you in there, that break will can it's hard to jump right back in, so you might as well pursue it while you still in the rhythm routine in shape to skip over the line and maybe get those opportunities that you're seeking. But like you and I have discussed, it's like the process is pure. The only difference
yeah,
is the timing. So stick to it.
yep.
And that was really the
100.
whole message.
And yeah, I mean, obviously, every decision you make gonna lead to different outcomes, but like you said, the most important part of the story was that you knew what you wanted, and a lot of people,
Yep.
even if they knew that they wanted to coach, sometimes we see like a glimmer of hope, or we see like something shiny over there, and then we forget what mission we on. So I
Oh,
think that's the really take is that you had a plan at the end of the day, and even though you knew this opportunity like could really feed your ego at the same time,
mm-hmm,
like,
hmm.
yeah, like I'm looking long term, and then basically what you're saying is like, look at me now. I don't regret that. I don't regret having a plan and a mission and sticking to it.
Yeah.
So
And even to that point, like beyond even basketball, right? Like in situations where because it's easy to blame life not going your way when you're not living the life that you want. You know what I'm saying? So like those times, there were times where my money ain't right. I'm like, dang, I should have. That's the only times I open that window of wonder because my current status didn't align with what that opportunity could have given me financially. You know what I'm saying? And so like when I say when I'm not in this space, I'm like, dang, now I start playing the blame game. Dang, now what if I did it? What if my dad could have or all that kind of stuff? I'm like, I fix all those type of situations by putting that wonder into work. Period.
right,
Every time I have to have that doubt or whatever that may be, I just sharpen my craft. You know what I'm
right,
saying? To validate and to close that window. Like this is where you should be. But it's easy to
right.
fall victim and be lazy, to be stuck in a corner crying for something that could have and maybe should have happened. But like I told, you before, God already knows. He already put you where you at. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand that, then you start rewiring your brain to get more focused at the task at hand.
Yep. And I think too, along with that, is just like when people give themselves too many options, you don't pour enough energy into one of them. So maybe you would have decided to play, and then you would have been there, kinda, but you wouldn't have been fully present.
Exactly. And
So
then it's you delay the process where we want to get because now you got to refigure things out because based on life and whatever that may be. So yeah, so that's where my message in that video was more of like, hey, go through it while you're still in it because that break where you can have again some of the factors of course having getting girlfriends, getting jobs, and so you get distracted. So again, you still are away from your craft. and
Yeah.
then like kind of dabbling in and out, and it's like, yeah. So my message is more of a stay in rhythm until God says, you know what, this is it. This ain't, you put all your, all your work into it. It just ain't work out. But if you
Yeah.
have something left, get it out before you say, hey,
Yeah.
that's it. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously for me, I had a 40-inch vertical and a 4.5 on the left at the table when I was done. You know what I'm saying? 4.5 40.
Yeah. I feel you on that. You did. I can.
So like at least if it's injuries or again another opportunity that created or whatever that may be, like life does happen, but by choice, if you have enough in the tank to still pursue, go. Like don't let somebody else's opinion like distract you, because even coaching, it's still an opinion. There's factual stuff, but the opinion is the preference of style, and it may not be for you, but it doesn't necessarily mean the coach is wrong. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's like there's a million away. Like there's not one clear cut, and so like I don't want these kids' confidence to break over a preference of style that takes away from their craft. It's like, dude, one day it's gonna be you and your craft. It's gonna be pure, and somebody's gonna invest into that. It may not be now, but keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. Nah. You ain't wrong though. That's real. Yeah. Nah. It's just like I got a lot of friends too that play for different teams and coaches that it didn't really fit their style. And one thing I would always tell them is like you just gotta know. You got to know who you are, and you got to know that this is just a temporary situation. If you know it's not for you, then it's just temporary. Like
Right, right.
you you plan, like I told you before, like you plan on playing for how long? And most people will say for as long as I can.
Hmm.
And then so how long are you gonna be playing with this team or with this coach? And that goes for like high school, like you got 4 years, and then in college you got 4 years.
Yeah.
So even if that 4 years is how long you're gonna be there, you need to be planning and working towards tenure.
Hmm.
Like, don't get stuck with a small vision. Like, always see the big picture. Cause one day you're gonna have to leave this situation, and if you stop working because of you don't like somebody's coaching style, then that's on you, and you gotta take account of that.
That is on you. Like control the controllables. You cannot control the style that they want. Like you can't control
Right,
their emotions. You can't control uh their preference. But
right,
again, no, and that's why one of the clips I have or one of the things I posted is like no coach is gonna turn down winning effort ever. That's something that's pure. Your clip, my favorite one, the thermostat one. No coach is gonna say no to that. Like, cause
right,
again, you were talking about one of your situations in the past where you not necessarily you intentionally guilt tripped it, but like the fact that you're consistent, a coach felt guilty of not playing when there was winning time based on
right,
your consistency, your intangibles, your energy was like, where sometimes you might, it's like, dang, I want to put you in, but I can't. But then when they took that chance, their feelings turned into
right.
fruition, and then your work validated. You know what I'm saying?
Right. When I could have easily been like, man, I didn't came to college and I'm not playing like that. Like, what is this? Like, I'm wasting my time or I'm not good enough. I never felt like that. I just felt like my opportunity was coming and other people had the edge on me for whatever reason. That had nothing to do with me. But I knew if when it comes to something to do with me, I'm gonna be ready. Like whenever if it's on me, I'm ready.
I do have a question for you because you said you knew your opportunity was coming, right?
Yeah.
Where did that confidence come from?
I mean, obviously I'm showing up every day. I'm with these dudes every day. So I know that they want me on the floor too.
Yeah,
So,
you know what I'm saying. But you said it's like again, your work is your confidence. That's your evidence on that. Why
man,
is why you feel
uh,
the way you do.
this man crazy. That's one of my teammates.
What about Isaiah?
Yeah, man, nah, but nah, it was more like I'm looking on the floor, I'm seeing where I fit in.
Yeah.
So even in the game, it's like if I was in the game, like I'm ready. And then like say if we losing or something because somebody's getting off and I know I'm a defender, it's like I'm not mad because I know that dude ain't gonna do nothing with me.
Right.
You
Can
know,
I
like
so and somebody had asked me, I think I saw like one of those posts of like what is like something like along like how important confidence is in a player and whatnot, and what's our duty as coaches and something like that. But I just remember like my response is pretty much like at the end of the day, this is my style, right? I don't redirect players offensively if they look like they have a plan and they look confident.
right,
If you don't if I see your eyes everywhere that's not in areas are not impactful, you look a little shaky, I'm saying give it up. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So it's like I am more somewhat reactive in it to a degree because I'd rather like say, hey, if I have a smart player, especially a point guard position, who can knows how to use a screen in a row and make the right play, whether it's scoring or passing, I can do that all game. But
right.
now I literally save my players from themselves because I just look in their eyes. I say they don't. Oh, you don't have a plan. I got a plan for you because you're not moving. It's not going fast enough. It's messed up the flow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but if you're confident, I'm gonna see where it goes. I take that chance, make or miss. I just like the confidence. But a
And
nervous
I
miss or a nervous mistake, no.
feel too, like sometimes you got players who have that natural confidence, and they may not understand the team's game plan, and maybe that's what the coach is shifting. But you never hear the coach tell a player who's doing everything he does like fully, like not second guessing, not hesitating. If you playing that way, no coach is gonna question you on that. He
Right,
might question decision making
for
or
sure.
like a shot selection, but at the end of the day, you're gonna play because this guy wants to win, and he knows I can't win with somebody who's walking on eggshells.
You know, like I want these players to take ownership, you know, because I don't like robots. I can coach robots all day, but that's not fulfilling to me. I mean, it's cool that I get to
Right,
work on my pen, but I'm a fan of basketball first. And what most of these kids don't understand is I want to be a fan first. I want to relax. You know what I'm saying? I'll have the playbook for just for the situationals, you know, and the timeouts here and there. But as far as the end game, don't look at me every time the possession starts to see what play it is. Go,
yeah,
you know, go. But a lot of people don't see that from me. Why? Because I don't typically don't have those players.
yeah,
You know, because think about it. Remember, even when I was playing with when I was coaching you, how many times I really? That's why I had to ask. I'm like, what did I even teach y'all? Because I feel like I wouldn't really play calling too crazy because you and Malcolm and whoever's on the else team just knew what they were doing.
yeah. No, yeah, I feel like I mean, we just had a foundation. We had the system set up to where we could make plays and stay aggressive and be ourselves. So it wasn't too many just X's and O's that
But I
we
didn't have
needed.
to I'm
Nah,
because like my playbook is heavy because I have to for the teams I've had, you know, even up to date. I have to. But
yeah,
yeah, to your point, like you just y'all know each other. Y'all definitely hung out. You know what I'm saying? We held each other accountable. Like it was y'all were brothers. Versus
right.
now, these kids hate on each other. Somebody going off, they don't get the ball back.
Yeah, and that's different. I think too, like maybe we didn't have just as many plays too, because you gotta think we played defense, like we got after people. So a lot of times we creating chaos and the game is just fast.
Dude, I literally and this is and I got this from y'all, right? I tell my players, especially the ones who are not playbook savvy, you know, and it's okay because sometimes a lot goes on. I'm like, if you don't know the play, the easiest way to not run them is defense and transition. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, if you don't know the play, make sure you get your offense from your defense and then rock out. Like I'm not sitting here trying to block your blessings and kids think I'm playing for whatever reason.
I just told PCA that this past weekend, like playing and when we got to the second game or was it second half, I'm like, y'all look like y'all don't really want to run the plays. Like y'all look like y'all getting tired of and getting stagnant. We not scoring. I said at the end of the day, your head coach is over there. He wants y'all to execute, but guess what? Executing, you don't have to slow it down to execute if you get stops. If you get stops, y'all gonna be able to play freely.
Hey,
But y'all,
you know
so
what's worse?
y'all,
I'll give you one that's worse, bro. One of my I've had teams in the past, right, where the plays are working so well, we're actually scoring, and they got bored off of it.
yeah,
I'm
that,
like, I'm like, dude, why are we stop running the players scoring when there's
yeah,
you know ample opportunities? But again, they want they want the ISO that they wanted the mixtape type of points. I'm like, dude, sometimes he can score on a backdoor all game.
right. The whole game till they stop it.
Yes, so it's dog. It's like when you say one thing, there's another void to fix with these kids. That's like that. It could come off as contradictory sometimes. For me, when I say, okay, do it this way, they do it that way, and they have the other way. I'm like, no, don't do it that way. Do this. I'm like, at the end of the day, think for yourselves. Period.
Yeah. I had a dude that well, not a dude. I had a basically like a mentor from Gonzaga. He's the women's strength coach for them. His name is Mike Nilsson.
Okay.
He was training his son, and his son was like making a bunch of shots. And then he started to like try to do fadeaways and all type of stuff in his workout just to keep it short. And he said the most important thing he taught his son was like, don't get bored with greatness. Like you literally just made 50 shots in a row and then you started to try to do something else. Imagine if you just kept that up, you got to the game, imagine like how efficient you would be.
Dog, and that's what bothers me, bro. Like because everybody looks at the Steph Currys and the Kyries, right? I'll just use them as an example because they do dribble a lot, but guess what? Every dribble has a purpose. It's downhill. It's a reaction to their feet. It creates space. It's meaningful. But these kids,
Right.
they think it's a bunch of empty calorie possessions. I'm like, there's no plan because the plan is to score at the end of the day. If it doesn't equate to scoring, what are you doing? Because now you're taking away from your effort on defense, trying to get the highlight. Like,
Right. I know somebody good at like just to use for an example, like obviously, Cam Thomas, he played for the Nets. He went to LSU.
ooh, I believe so. I believe so. Go ahead.
So like everybody see him as like he's a bucket. Put him in the game like he scored, but like I seen this dude with my own eyes. He is a bucket, and he do get like that's what his mind is on. But everything he do is really simple. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's just going to your point of like it's not just nothing that he's doing is wasted movement. You know what I'm saying? Like he
yeah.
getting to it, and I just use him as an example just because he's a pure scorer, and you naming like higher guys, so I'm trying to name somebody that's maybe a little lower.
No, for sure.
But think about all of the pure scorers that like they're not doing things that are crazy unless they have to, and that's just because they're making a counter.
Yeah,
Like they don't
that's it. They're counters.
the counters just look so good, but really they just trying to get to their spot.
That's it. Again, the common denominator. What is your plan?
Right,
Your plan is to get to your spot or some kind of setup. That's fine. But we just dribbling and blank eyed. I'm like, what is you doing? Yeah, but he shifted a little bit, but you're still in the same spot. Like, go.
right. That's you see it a lot.
But again, it's what's looked upon or past is like nobody or most of these kids don't understand how much how much rehearsal in the gym they put on in order to even do that in the game. They have
Right.
no clue. Like, Steph Curry, he don't leave practice. I don't know if it up, but I remember a long time ago when I heard one of his workout routines. He doesn't leave the gym until he makes 10 swishes of free throws. Just 10. He don't leave like in a row. And so
Yeah.
like if it hits rim, it don't count. And so it's like, so in the game, when you see him, when it barely hits the rim and he's shaking his head, even though it went in, people are like, why is he mad? It went in. He's like, no, he has an expectation for himself. He was
Right.
he was in a lab working on these things. Like even James Harden, even some people question, even sometimes me, like his goofy shot selection, but he says, I've never shot anything in a game that I haven't practiced.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So these guys, the professionals or even college guys, don't make things up for the the oohs and the ahs. It's just like that's what they prepared. Like this is a plan.
yeah, no, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, man. But question for you though. I do want to know this. This is me as a fan too. Like, what did you meet LeBron James?
I don't think I really met him. I seen him a lot of times, just like in the facility, but I didn't. I don't think I really met him. I never went out my way to like do
Okay,
that,
I feel, I feel you, I feel you, I feel you.
but
Oh,
I saw that was good enough for me.
who was the biggest NBA star that you played against on the floor?
Uh, I don't even know why that's a hard question. Uh,
Because he was on the Lakers, Clippers, G Leagues, summer teams and all
star,
that.
star. Like when you say star, you mean this person need to be like what? What's a
I mean,
star?
just it's opinionated. Like, of course, I'm gonna aim high to like of course, the first name I said LeBron James, but I know a lot of people don't see him, even the ones that I've that play in the G League too. I'll be like, hey, just meet LeBron, and be like, nah, we ain't. I don't know what the expectation is. You know what I'm saying? When I just assume if you were in the jersey, he's somewhere around.
Yeah, nah, right. I mean, dang. I mean, that's tough. Cause that's something I would have had to like really sit down and think about. I
Okay.
mean, I could a lot of guys, but I mean, as far as what I played with, I mean, I played with Patrick McCall. He had 2 championships,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so like it don't get no bigger than that. But obviously, I mean, I played with a lot of them. I played with Gary Payton the
Okay.
second.
Okay. Okay.
Played with Josh Hart.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we in there.
I played with Anthony Bennett. He was the number 1 pick.
As
Jonathan Motley, Clippers, Zubac, Thomas Bryant. Uh, shoot, man, Paul Reed with the 76ers.
okay. So
Jaden Spring,
yeah. So
first round.
you win there.
It's really just a whole lot of them. Like
Yeah.
the ones
Yeah.
I like, it's honestly it's just countless. So I can't really. But star wise, I guess I can. I guess I'll just say like Marcus Smart, but I didn't
Oh,
play
for
him in the
sure.
G.
Yeah. Yeah. He was around when we were playing. Because like even great dude, great like he always showed love. Like I didn't even know him like y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember I just saw him just casually. He came to shook my hand like he was like one of us. I was like, oh hey, what up, Mark? So it is kind of hard like when it's a hometown guy. Because
I mean,
even
even-
though like he is obviously a superstar, because
right?
we are so desensitized to his presence, it's just like a hometown boy.
No, exactly. But obviously, Miles Turner too.
Oh yeah, yeah, Miles. Yeah, he was down there. Yeah, he good.
Yeah. So I mean, and then you got to think about all the guys in the Big 12 that went pro. So it's like it's a lot of them, man. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of them.
So in the okay, so let me ask, what is the difference, whether it's training, preparation, routine, that a lot of guys, players struggle with from getting an official NBA roster contract? Because I know there's marketing, I know there's politics, there's agents, there's that. Now that gets to a point, it's a bunch of who you knows beyond your work. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of players who I feel like because feeling it's open to objection, but like I'm like, dang, you couldn't make it. What
Yeah,
happened?
I mean the thing is, in my opinion, is you got to think about how many spots are available first. That's
Yeah,
number
yeah.
one. You never hope that somebody get hurt or something like that, but like that's a big window of opportunity.
Oh, for sure.
If position in the league like gets hurt and the team just wants immediate help, that's another thing. That's two things: a roster spot and somebody getting hurt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Third thing is if you're gonna get that spot, it's not just gonna be because you're good or because you're good enough. If you're gonna get that spot, you have to fit that same niche that they need. So boom, that's number four. Number five is when it comes down to the niche, who's the most efficient player in this niche?
That's when
Like,
the analytics come out.
exactly. So you could be having a great month. Maybe you averaging whatever. Say you averaging 16, 17 that month and 5, 6 assists and you've been getting 1.5 steals a game, but then like you've been shooting 44%,
Yeah.
40% from the field and you've been shooting 28% from three. It's like they're gonna find a guy that maybe he even averages less than that. Maybe he's been averaging 12 points a game, but he's been more efficient on his
Yeah.
and maybe more turnovers. And they're like, we just need somebody that we could plug and play. So somebody, the problem is like a lot of players think I'm good enough, I'm cold, I'm killing, bro, I'm
Right,
going
right.
off. But it's like if somebody gets hurt in the NBA and they looking for a call up, they need somebody that they can call up and plug and play.
Mhm, mhm.
If you over here scoring 25 points in games this month, but you also been having multiple turnovers, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
and you efficient. Well, if I'm a GM or whoever's the person at the top who's choosing you to come plug and play,
Right.
I'm gonna say, well, his touches are gonna be limited. So I just need him to show up and do his job in the most efficient way. What is this?
I have no idea. Somebody must be cheering for you because it ain't me.
What? I don't know what that is.
Well,
And
thank you.
so people saying like, "Oh, well, they was hating on me, or I didn't get an opportunity, or I don't know what it is. I don't know the right person." Well, all of that is a lie, because those people they know you, and they know who they're choosing. So like, they choosing the most efficient players.
And I will say this too, and this is I have to take ownership, right? Because and I love like those humbling experience where sometimes I think I know more than you know that I'm supposed to know, and I'll be like, dang, why is so and so in the league? What do they see in them? Like when I look in the college, and because there's a lot of high school kids and college kids, I was not a fan. I'm like, how the heck? But long story short, the NBA has an eye that I don't see, but then it comes to fruition. I'll even say this: Lamelo Ball. I did not like
Yeah,
him at all in high school. I did not. I did not. I was like, ew. I know a lot of people right now who can lock him up. Da, 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 da. But he got to the league, and I am a fan. Like he's cold.
but
And
let me just to interrupt you, like
go
just to
ahead.
make it real simple. Think about this: your IQ got to match your confidence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Your confidence got to match your efficiency.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So
Yep.
like those are the layers. Like it, you could be so good, but if you don't have the IQ to really enter a NBA game with players who are already established, if you're not thinking the game, you can't read the game, you can't make the
Mm.
right play, but you a scorer. It's like I'd rather get somebody who got IQ and confidence, and
Right.
he's a fit. Sometimes we don't all check all those boxes,
Right. Right.
and reason why you need all those boxes because the spots are limited and these organizations are trying to win and they trying to sell tickets.
Yep.
And for the organizations, they trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
You want
Yeah.
to build a foundation. So a lot of us looking for opportunities, it's not like it's a dead end, but it's like we gotta be better students of the game first. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's it, man. And so let me rewind back. And we briefly had a conversation about this, and um I want to give insight and for the people to kind of chime in this conversation, right? In the professional sense, we understand how important analytics are because that's where they can look at their percentages and their investment, right?
Right.
So in the high school level, I'll say in the high school level, how for the coaches who stick to just the numbers, right? When they say you have the green light or don't have the green light based on these percentages, how is that important in the high school level, or should it be black and white, or there should be a little bit of wiggle room? in high school?
I mean, shoot, in high school, I didn't even understand. I never looked at no box score to see what I shot.
Right.
But times have changed now. So, I mean, I think, mm, I think they should focus on it. Obviously, these are kids who are still developing, but the reason why I think they should is because college is getting more competitive.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Or if you coming from high school into college now, as a freshman, you got to deal with it's so many transfers. So you might be transferring to or signing to a place who just got a grad transfer who's a fifth year.
Mm, yeah.
So it's like, if I'm a freshman and I'm just trying to earn my spot, but I'm not efficient, I don't even understand why I have to be efficient. Then it's like, dang, like it's gonna be real rough for me.
So what it sounds like, what I'm hearing is that you would encourage, because we talk about the high school level, to consider that in their practice, in their preparation, because I suspect that a lot of kids will be like, especially in high school, will get shocked when numbers are brought up for something they don't even think about, and then like it can either make them better or worse. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen the effects of, in my opinion, good scores for what I had going. And
Yeah,
then when numbers were brought out to them at the high school level, it kind of messed up their psyche. And now they feel a little pressure per like for every shot to meet that expectation for the number. That makes sense.
right. What I say is it's better that the pressure comes earlier,
Hmm.
like in high school, because for me, that pressure came when I was in college.
Right,
So now
right, right.
everything I'm doing, I'm thinking of these new percentages that I just heard about. And now I'm just not being me. So I would have rather learned that earlier. Like I would have rather known about that in high school so I could have been thinking about that and practicing that in my high school games and using that when I'm training to
Right.
prepare myself. Because once you get to once they go to college if they want to, and you find that out, and then now you getting crushed. Now you thinking about your shot. Now your wheels are spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, time is moving so fast, and you gotta think. They are still recruiting. Once they sign you, they next class.
We remember we told y'all that, even when he said they were recruiting to take your spot.
That's what I'm saying. They recruiting to because they gotta fulfill those roles and they gotta give those scholarships out. So you don't want to be in a situation where, oh, I just got to college and I didn't even understand efficiency in high school, but they trying to win. We got a chance, or maybe my coach is on the hot seat and he can't really deal with my development too
Right,
long.
right, right.
Yeah, I would recommend that high school players really take into account efficiency now.
And that's what I did too. Because again, I like to be, when I give out information, be factual. I try to disregard as much feeling as like as possible. So like that's why I emphasize when I say I feel, it means I'm open to objection or seeking the truth, right? And so one of the things that is known that's been consistent is the numbers when I talk to colleges and NBA scouts. So what I've done for my training is every shot, that you miss is either you make, you if you hit one, you shoot it again. But once you miss, go for the easy two. Whatever that might be. For me, it's a layup. For some reason, some people they'll go, okay, instead of a 3 point, I go to 15 feet. It's like, no, get that guarantee bucket. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
To keep that 50% on a bare minimum of like your field goal, and then we
right,
can start working on the other stuff, and make that session like 88 plus type of sessions. But I've been very intentional when I train kids, now that I know how that high schoolers are doing it, or high school coaches are taking data. And of course I knew from college and NBA, I'm like, okay, let me start training now at my gym, you know what I'm saying, to um like to practice that, and be conditioned, so that you don't get hit, with that expectation, and now you can't perform.
right. No, that's true though. There's so many ways you can go about it. Whether that's like players making certain amount of shots in a row, or maybe you say you got to go 5 from 7 from this spot and this spot. So if you don't get it, then it forces you to be efficient. Then if you miss a shot in the game, it's like I'm used to going 5 for 7 in my workouts. So it's like if I miss a shot, I know it's a high probability that I'm gonna make the next couple,
Yeah,
and maybe in there. But I know I can make 5 out of 7 of my shots.
that's pretty good actually. It's 5 out of 7. Where?
I mean, it don't matter.
Yeah, that's what
You
I
can
was
make,
like. Say it don't matter. How?
yeah,
Okay, let me ask you this. This is a sidebar. How many shots? What is the most makes you've hit in a row outside 15 feet
in a row.
in a row?
I honestly don't even know that number. Like I don't even know that number.
Me
I
either. Me neither. I just know I'm not gonna miss twice.
Yeah, I don't even know. I know I got obsessed at one point to
What
where
up, Jim?
I got obsessed to where I hurt myself shooting. I went to the gym and said, "Man, I'm gonna make 500 shots in a day, every day," and I was rebounding for myself.
Hey, that's normal.
Yeah, I'm saying,
I
but I
don't
ain't had
look when I'm
one.
slightly older than you, but I don't remember having a rebounder like ever. I didn't think that was a thing.
But you gotta think the gun is a thing.
I remember that too. Then when it hits outside the net, you got to go get it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I'm saying, like, I can't say how many I made in a row. I don't remember. You gotta think how many times I've been in the gym.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a
Yeah,
fact. I wonder what Steph Curry's is because I know that we only caught one on camera. I'm pretty sure he's done that multiple times.
yeah, nah. I watched the live with you know the dude who went to Cal. The point guard, his name is something Randall, and he goes by Handle by Randall now.
I've seen, but I've seen that name. I've seen that
I
name.
watched. I
I might
literally
be
watched
following him actually.
last week on live. He made 252 free throws in a row on live. I think he broke the record or something. I don't know. I watched it though. That was crazy.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was crazy. He
He,
was locked in.
he probably only missed because his arm was tired.
No, locked in. I ain't gonna. I sat there and watched it. I was amazed. I ain't gonna lie.
Damn. So, all right. So question. Here goes another one for you. Now that you're back, you are in the gyms with younger cats, specifically high school. You worked with us a little bit. How many gyms have you been? How many teams have you seen play in just high school in general? And what's your assessment generalizing it?
I ain't seen that many teams just play yet, but shoot, I mean, my initial assessment is just that everybody trying to find their identity,
Okay. Okay.
which that could have been a given, but I've been so out of touch with it that I didn't realize because I'm coming from a space where everybody think they already know themselves. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
And then I come back to a space where you might got like, for instance, like I might see a person who's a shooter realistically, but maybe he's not stepping into that power and actually like knowing who he is. Think that's why I say identity and knowing yourself because that's how you're gonna maximize. And I think in high school now, what I'm seeing is like everybody's trying to be. They don't know, so they just trying to do everything.
Hey, you know what's so funny? All right, so you're absolutely right, and it's gotten so common that now, so we call those I'll call them identity crisis. I'm gonna make a shirt out of that. But those type of players, they're labeled as either combo guards or tweeners. And
Right,
well, typically tweeners because tweeners is the identity. A combo is obviously I'm able to run this position, this guard position at a high level, and this other position at a high level. A tweener is like, you know what I'm saying, like a poor man's James Harden. Like, and what I mean by that is you have your point guard, but you have the ability to score, and you have the ability to you know what I'm saying, like whatchamacallit, like do other things, but you're not an A at either. It's like a tweener is you're a B minus in two positions. So you haven't really mastered one.
right. No, for sure. I mean, that just means you don't really know. You not that special in one category. And at one point, you just kind of we can kind of throw you around and
Yeah,
just
but that's what like you just said, the identity. There's two things. They either don't know where the identity is, or they are not accepting of who they are.
yeah, nah, for real,
You know,
nah, that's for real.
and
Yeah,
that
nah, that's true. But sometimes I will say, like, sometimes players have an identity, and then your organization might tell you what your identity is.
absolutely, absolutely.
That's oh, that's a whole nother thing.
Man, and that's what it gets tricky, dude. It gets, and that's why I try to, as I catch myself talking a lot because I do want it to be thorough and walk through my thinking with my players, right? And so something I'll say, hey, actually, hey, shoot, my coach in at Plano told me this, right? In high school, you would start on any other team in Texas, but just not this one. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Sound like he was trying to get you to transfer.
or I mean, I don't know, whatever that may be, whatever that may be. But like, but I've seen the other end on more of a positive, like from my experience of like, yeah, I see you could do this, but for this, what we're trying to get collectively based on the culture of the team, I need you to be this particularly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to be this for this team, and while still trying to be intentional of like putting those players in different spots where it can accommodating to their quote unquote best selves if they're actually good at it. You know what I'm saying? So like it.
But to what point? To what point is that like going against the player as far as like you might be a player and the team that you on, they need you to play the three, but you might be 6'3",
Mhm.
you might be 6'4", but then like for you to go to the next level, they telling you you got to play the one.
Right.
So like, what should a player do? I
I mean,
wouldn't recommend
it's,
transfer.
no, but like for me, it's what's tricky is because I'll talk to myself like say as a player, right? I could
Yeah,
be a really good one. I could be actually I'm a really good two. I clamp up high energy, defender. So it's like I'm okay as long, but I have fun with all of them. So if a coach chooses for me, I'm gonna enjoy it. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
It ain't about what you enjoy.
Well, what I'm saying, but the original point is like, well, if you can only play on this style for this particular team, which those are the basics, right? Score, facilitate, and defend. I can do all three, either or, and cut back on the other ones that are, that I would do. But kids don't like the other things. They only stick to that one thing that they like, and they shut down when they have to play another role.
Yeah, no, right. I definitely got that. You definitely want to maximize your opportunity to be on the floor.
Right.
So you don't want to get so bottled in that you missing minutes
Right.
because you don't.
Right. Because I'm like,
Yeah,
look, sign me up to whoever gives you the minutes. If I have to
yeah.
dive on the floor for 4 quarters and excuse me the game, sign me up because then on top of that, like those opportunities, I'm gonna end up be able to play myself anyway. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
Like that type of play.
it's perfect examples for that. Like you look at Josh Hart. Like this dude was making. I know he was trolling, but like he's coming out saying like, man, I'm really a big man
Right.
because he had to four. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. I did not know that, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. He had to play the forward last year at some point, but they was making a deep run, and he
Right.
had like 20
He
rebounds
did
in
really
damn near
well.
and like 2 points and like 20 rebounds in the game.
And
And
Pat.
he's no bigger than maybe 6'5". You know what I'm saying? And we talking about the NBA. Then you
Right.
got Bruce. Remember Bruce Brown?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Bruce Brown damn near was the four man. He said in pick and rolls the whole game.
Yeah. Yeah.
He playing. Gary Payton plays in the short corner.
Go where the minutes are at. And it's like, but again, it's tricky. It's like a double-edged sword to a degree, right? Because again, at the end of the day, you do want to make sure that this game is fulfilling. And eventually you want to play as your true self, right? But at the same time, it's like do what's necessary because on the flip end, what if you got in the high school, you get recruited for your defense, and now you got to play more defense at the next level. It'll never get to that opportunity to be like the score that you want to be. But
Yeah,
but to your point, that's where being conditioned to be efficient and having the data to validate for you to have a case to have a conversation. And most of these kids don't have that case, resume, or evidence to even have that constructive conversation to say, hey, coach, I would like to explore these other things based on this work.
Like, I mean, this what I say though. Like for that defense, like example you just used, obviously, because I was a defensive specialist, so it's
Yes, you
like,
were.
so you gotta think about it. Like, it might be somebody on the team who can score better than me, but like if I play defense so well and I'm always on the floor, bro, like there's a high chance that I'm gonna score more points than you on average. If the coach don't trust you, but you a better scorer than me, technically I'm scoring more than you because I'm playing more.
Boom. And that's exactly. Exactly. And then on top of that, like for me, my like I loved my personal style is of course transition and play quote unquote freely because I was gifted in just making the right play. It wasn't even about the on my end, you know what I'm saying? But the reason why I always gift these kids these nuggets of like when you're allowed to play that at any time. Defense, transition. On transition, that's your playground. If you're not getting the ball back, go get the ball on the rebound. Go get the ball in the
Right,
steal. Get the ball on the open floor. Open floor. And then you get to earn the trust from everyone that what you can really do. Or if they don't, you still in there. You're still doing your job. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So it's like I say these things because I was that player, but it wasn't out of arrogance. It's like, look, I was in those situations where my role changes, or somebody was just as good as me, so I had to do something different. Somebody could score as good as me and it's taller, so I had to do something different that's impactful. And I was okay with it because I knew how to do it.
yeah,
But a lot of these kids play victim and be like, oh, coach is tripping. Da, 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 da. I'm like, nah, there's a million and one answers. Y'all just don't want them. It's not the answer that you want.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And that's really again the adjustment aspect of it because at the end of the day, once you get that, you know, the big old contract in the NBA, they gonna pay you exactly what you think you're good at. And if you're that, they're gonna pay you for it because they already
yeah,
paid somebody else.
yeah, right. That's true.
So but again, it's just really at the end of the day, it's really about this is a marathon, not a sprint. Because in a marathon, one year you might be a defender, one year you might be a passer, one year you might be a facilitator, scorer, whatever that may be. But that's why, like, I was fortunate and blessed to have like former NBA players tell me, say, Tejas, every single year you got to do something different. Every single year. So one year I committed to all left hand passing and being left handed. Another year I committed to just defense. Another year committed to, of course, the 3-point shooting, just that, like spot up. And then down the line, it all came together, um, when I got older, where there was an opportunity for anything I had, you know what I'm saying? But I was equipped.
Right. No, that makes sense.
So, but yeah, man. Well, I have the appointment in a minute, so I'm about to push time.
Are
But yeah,
you glad we got to get up, man?
no, for sure. We always gonna tap in, and like I said, this ain't no different than we talk about every single day. But sometimes that the information that we have really doesn't do much for us because we already know. But we like to gift, like this is for everyone who's watching who wants to to gain that
All right.
type of knowledge. So, but last thing when you get out, let the people know what you're doing, man, as far as your training and all your other stuff.
Man, they know what I'm doing, man. If they on this page, they know who I am. They know they know what it is with me. But nah, I'm gonna post I'm gonna post some stuff about like the training stuff I'm doing. Obviously, I'll do some strength and conditioning stuff, some skills training, some nutrition coaching. Obviously, I'm putting together like different packages and things like that. So they gonna see as we move forward.
Oh
These are the people been around me. They've been around. They know me. So
yeah.
they but I'm really trying to prospect and get people that don't even know me. So you know what I'm saying?
Hey, these conversations, look, and I'm here to help you accelerate that process, bro. So,
Yeah,
all right, man, you be easy. I holla at you.
I